talk a little bit more. And this is my hobby project, ruby-virtualmachine. So on bhyve, you can implement user-learned part of bhyve hypervisor using ruby-virtualmachine API. So if you look at the source code of bhyve command or bhyve log command, it's not huge lines of code. It's very tiny program. So you can implement for replacement bhyve, or you can also implement another OS loader, just like OSB loader. And if you implement binding code for ruby-virtualmachine API, you don't have to use C or C++ for implementing it. Maybe doesn't make sense, but still you can do it. And if you implement binding for Ruby or Python, maybe you can implement these things on this lightweight language, and I tried to do it. So it's just for fun, but maybe it's good for learning basics of virtualization, or just learning x86 assembly code on virtual machine or something like that. And here is a GitHub address of Ruby virtual machine. And also I uploaded it on Ruby Gems. And what I implemented on Ruby virtual machine, one is best program loader. I thought, I think about to implement another operating system loader, but if you implement FreeBSD loader or Linux loader, it's very complicated and it's a bit hard to do that. But if you implement the loader for just a plain binary, maybe it's generated from some tiny assembly code. It's very easy. And if I just implement such a flat binary loader, the usage of the loader is not really easy to use. Still, if you write assembly code for it, you need to assemble it by assembler. Then you need to pass the binary to the loader. So you need to do some things. But I think if you're able to run the assembly code for this machine on your Ruby script, then if this Ruby library can assemble the assembly code to the binary, then if it can load the assembly binary to guest memory area, maybe it's much easier to run. So I implemented assembly so can show the code, actual code. So with this library, this API can create VM instance by new. Then you can write assembly code on the script, and this library assembles this assembly code on the fly. Then it's load to the guest memory area. Then it's the library initialize whole registers to get ready to run this assembly code on 64-bit mode. And you can run the VM instance from here. And not just that, I also try to implement tiny replacement of bhyve command. So bhyve command is so it needs to run guest instance, and it needs to handle virtual device access. So I implemented on all things from Ruby. So if I do that, so bhyve command has a bunch of device simulation like part.io, con, or serial ATA. If I re-implement on the different code base, it means I will lose all of these device simulation. So this is the sample code to implement just a serial output emulation on Ruby. So this loop is just like a loop in bhyve command. It's main loop in like bhyve command, and run invokes VM run IO control, and then it exits from IO control, and you can check why the VM run was exited. So if the exit code was in out, which means device access, and if the port number was 3F8, which is serial port output, then you should print a character on EAX register, so called print on Ruby. Then you need to calibrate next RIP register value, then loop again. Then you can run virtual machine without user-bound part of bhyve. So Ruby and the library runs on user-land instead of the user-land part of bhyve. So this is just an example to print some characters on the console, and the guest code is implemented here, and I'm passing argument to this Ruby script, and the argument will be initialized some registers RAX and RCX, and RAX was the character print on the console, and RCX was the loop counter for the assembly code. So the assembly code runs on the Ruby script. There is no bhyve command, and it's just executing Ruby, and it's calling bhyvecon API. And so this is ruby-virtualmachine, and there is no memory access API at this time, so maybe I will add API, and I'm initializing most of registers and page tables edited such thing in C extension of the library. So maybe I can move these codes to Ruby script, and maybe this sample code is boring, so maybe I can think about more interesting sample code, and that's it. Do you have any questions? Yes.
So this is you're wrapping the application into a main loop that has your read and write and other device controls. Similar to bhyve, with just a different implementation. Do I understand that? So do I understand that what you're doing is taking the similar structure to bhyve and just implementing it as a standalone program?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm using the same kernel interface of bhyve, but I also using libvna API, which is wrapper library, but I don't using bhyve userland part of the code. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Not really a question, but a comment. I think this is really cool. So one of the problems that we have is like a good way to regression test or even test some of the low-level features that we have. So you know the way that we have done this in the past is we hack up the FreeBSD kernel, have some custom assembler code, load that as an operating system, run expect on the output. This is actually much nicer. It's much better for kind of doing QA testing. So yeah, great tool.
Thank you. Other questions? Okay, thanks.